So, how do you even begin to stand out in the world's most competitive, fastest moving auto market? I mean, it feels like a new car model launches every single week. It's become a battle not just for sales, but for hearts and minds. Let's really dig into what's happening.
Hey everyone, and welcome to the Flow Tao Salon. Today, we are unpacking the brand new rules for car brands in China, and we're going to explore what it really takes to win in this crazy, high stakes game.
Now, everything we're talking about today comes straight from the 2025 Tiger Roar Annual Insight Report on the automotive industry. This is a huge deal because it's based on the winning campaigns from the super prestigious Tiger Roar Awards. So, this isn't just theory, it's a direct look at what is actually working in the market right now.
Okay, so here's our game plan. First, we're going to look at the big picture, the core challenge everyone's facing. Then, we'll break down the marketing playbook that's actually winning. After that, we'll hear from the experts on how to build real long-term brand power. And finally, we'll wrap it all up with the key takeaways you need for 2025.
So, first up, let's set the scene. Because the Chinese auto industry is dealing with this really fascinating but super tough paradox. On the one hand, production is absolutely booming. It's up 11%. The industry is churning out more cars than ever before. But, and this is a big but, look at that profit margin, just 4.6%. That's actually lower than the average for other big industries. What this tells you is that the competition is just unbelievably fierce, and every single marketing dollar has to work its tail off. And you know what's really interesting here? You might think this whole game is dominated by those massive 10 million plus budgets, but look closer. The single biggest piece of the pie, a whopping 39%, is in that mid-range sweet spot of 1 to 5 million. This is proof that smart, creative campaigns can absolutely punch above their weight. It's not just a game for the mega spenders.
Okay, so what do these winning campaigns actually look like? Well, the Tiger Roar report zeroed in on two huge trends that are defining success, and they're all about connecting with customers in a totally new way.
The first massive trend is this big shift toward deep emotional storytelling. Brands are finally realizing that when all the tech specs start to look the same, it's the story that truly connects with people.
And this quote from the report just nails it. It's not about shouting the loudest about your horsepower or battery range anymore. The winning brands are focusing on these universal human things: family, friendship, that feeling of coming home. They're trying to build a real relationship, not just sell you a machine.
And you can see this in action. Many made this beautiful stop-motion film about finding yourself. Lincoln created a whole film series that connected the idea of stability to different stages of life. And Audi, they partnered with the superstar Andy Lau for this thoughtful piece on time and legacy. See, these aren't just ads, they're short films designed to make you feel something.
All right, the second major trend is all about leveraging the power of culture. We're talking collaborations with popular IPs, that's intellectual property, and really tapping into the energy of major festivals.
This is so clever, right? It's all about borrowing cultural energy. Wuling Bingo partnered up with the iconic Donald Duck for his 90th anniversary, a super fun, family-friendly move. And BMW, they tapped into pure nostalgia by using the classic Chinese animation Hulu Brothers for a Children's Day campaign. They are literally embedding their brands into memories and moments that people already know and love.
But look, short-term tactics and flashy campaigns are only part of the story. So, how do brands build something that actually lasts? The report went out and asked several industry leaders for their take on the future. Ma Jinshan from the China Automotive Quality Committee just cuts right to the chase here. He's basically saying that when the technology becomes standardized, when every car has a big screen and a long-range battery, the only thing that truly sets you apart is your brand and the experience you give your customers. And Tang Hong from CAAC Auto Marketing Research builds on that. He says the key is reconstructing narrative ability. So, what does that even mean? Well, it basically means the old way of telling stories is broken. The market's changed, the customer has changed, and brands need a fundamentally new way to communicate who they are and what they're about. So, what does this new story look like? A huge piece of the puzzle is this idea right here: user co-creation. And this isn't just about asking for feedback in a survey. No. This is a deep partnership where users are actively helping to shape the brand and the product itself. And it happens in stages. You can start simple with things like polls on social media about new features. Then you can go deeper, bringing in dedicated users to act as product partners during development. And finally, you get to the highest level, ecosystem co-building, where your most passionate fans become your best brand ambassadors, creating this amazing, self-sustaining community.
Lil Jaja from Bola Network just sums it up perfectly. When every car starts to feel the same from a tech perspective, co-creation is how you break through the noise. You're not just selling a product anymore, you're building a tribe. And that kind of loyalty is something technology alone can never, ever buy. Okay, we have covered a ton of ground. So let's boil all of this down into the most important findings from this whole report. So what does this all mean for the road ahead? Well, the report points to 3 fundamental shifts that are going to define auto marketing in 2025. First things first, the game has completely changed. It is no longer about winning the traffic battle, just getting the most clicks and views. The real goal, the true North Star, is now about deepening your relationships with users and turning customers into a real community. Takeaway number 2, the way you build those relationships is through emotion and culture. The brands that are winning are the ones telling authentic stories and plugging into cultural moments that connect with people on a deeply human level. It's about being relevant, not just being visible. And the third, and maybe the most powerful takeaway, is this: user co-creation is the new ultimate advantage. The most successful brands of the future will be the ones that are built with their users, not just for them. That creates this incredible bond, this sense of ownership that is almost impossible for competitors to break. Which really leaves us with one last big question to chew on. As the tech gap between cars keeps shrinking and shrinking, maybe the most advanced feature of all isn't the battery or the screen or the software, but the story a brand tells. And maybe more importantly, the story it invites its users to create right alongside it.